Dunia menje kole azule mu molu balunya kole ya dai fama di balava amali mirabang dunia kole abedula beledo tisata nyodi menna kole do ya dai
Assalamualaikum Honorable Minister abi on fele janto pachar so follow ntata dula jamal leto kunu nyolto aning nsafo nying tili bilan tili lulu njangote follow ila jibe rote yemuna korosi nyintobe kono
na nyinto ton kontanta bake sako bi melorin damento men keta pachar filti kato nga private sector le soto jam me ya lonko seno alafta ke la jula yaleti mani doku wala karola so nyem fonde ke nyenga ya kata bake bari mansakunda fana ya kata His Excellency le President Barola nyaton kaya kan nga kata le fo ay tractor tansoto jang pour nyen tilikando kono asikobo keno awatola senela sitiro keno awatola isaje mani seno nyim banko kan asiriwa so nyina nyen tilikando mano mbe sotola jang be buila bake kato natol fon le ajube faro men mando ku jambaka amansiya so wayati nale nata pour kaje do ko men betama kanjang anda manda wala hani serum fango combine harvester menga ka katiro kala Minister of Agriculture ya sangaye so e baje la wobe mani seno iri wande la bake anda manda woto fanang serum tilikando kono nga power tilal dialale an portable milling machine nga dialale pour men sati na mani sero sirwano nyimbanko kan hade
so amandang ate fanana fanala ntata dula jamal leto ngaje ko funding kill surtout kill ifane be kunku do ko lebe senola so imune jo karola katus nun tontol kami fo musol don nakatara kunku la fanala
yalo nunto moli amira fo gadina do kolu musol damale nyanta kake bari ala nata mako isanye funding kill fana ye nyateling gadina do kola kar hani kono ntata funding ke fulala dulato menketa bagadaji ti ani jelan o funding kill be gadina do kola fan kende ke fan jabol nim fen ko ton liba do ku kan fo so ne la banko kanu walla amanjar yeta bante sisino jang andu be ko do miklal so nyim funding kelu ibe do ko ke kan kende ke be lafta men damala makoro menna wala nyiti sansango anin jiyo kato sainteng e kajiye bondinam baleto e kaji bondiro ke bannata ta fokaro tata fotil kando tata fajam fata menin junma fangola ko kana wo batole so sainte be lafila bo hololla so nate advice pour safero ke letero ki regional director la office auto CRR not e saje nyim project men kana rus project wala matching grant na pareta e saje sajube be makoy no la nyame kato nyim funding ke façon lafta wala pour agriculture improve e saje funding ke fanasi do ko sotono hadi
ngajira fanan ila siyo anin sainte mo watu sutundam bari ku jamal fanan keta wokono katu nsafa serun nata na jantole nimma nata futa minta mo maru famti ay ala bata balle fona mimu partnership ti masakunda sam fana mako non andum nata mani talala bari nga kuma kango mi moyila wala ko masakunda e mani jamala tata bulo kono na so ngaje ko wo fana mu kulete mi yalon ko akuo mashallah betiata so isa fen fono mole o fana tabe
ha wo mu niyo jube wo mu taman seri kendelde because niya je lafta mani do ko le yirwa nyim banko kan wala tinna biri nyim mani diesita tonu cheme fula tonu talulu nga wala sang itol bulu kato maru ate mollel soto men ya lonko aka mani do ko dila te ka sangi bulu foka para ya process ko tenke aya wafu comme value addition so niya jube wo mano men santa abe da jamale fala senelale because asa wollel bulu so akamta ko wol pour men satina mani do ko sirwano nyim banko kan wala tinanga woke kato niya jube en tol fango men do ko nyanta ko wole dum so lafta wole kanyitandila molla ko nsakeno nindula do liya keno munati nan takeno la so nsake keno so ala nata ma ko nata na timol men so timol men ya lon ko sontanya ifanga jele kabiri nyin tililulo kono ni na director general le be silo kan ani na deputy permanent secretary e kan fasa bake nyin do ko tandu do ko mutan fi so mbe tentu lambe jeyi la bake e muta nyamen fo nyin sanji fulombe do ko wala katun wulita wate wati na director general especially nari ani NSS ani na DPS huma e fasa bake agriculture birin nata ha so manyinela ha andum fana niaje nganyinke agriculture la bunda jama yidunta dawoda bayri nganna life beke agriculture sanji tan sabanim feng manta dawoda man projet bayndi be agriculture kono mbado mando mankan wala na bunda jama bije ngalo andi tol fana yem fasa wokan wata ala baraka bake
so labanta dula dol fana tole mi yalan ko fane fondin kelning ya ila bata bundal fojeta kati fanen ko ya moyla ko ikamo jamal ma ko la mi yalan ko surtout fanyi maru fam masingo la fana masakundal di maroka so iba mun kata kula kele la office pour ka wol fana ma ko no dal pour tol fana seno nyeng asedi blok
ha infa science team from betembo mento national assembly la de maroka ani finance ministry betembo mento nga pawatila danta no sotole ha bari papa tila danta wol fana mba jubela be tro assessment le kele men ya lon ko sulata la bake ngi mako isaje nyen sama men kana wo fana do ko si yirwano kendeke so funding kel men ya lon ko parita agriculture senola nte tula koma ka tu tolle moti men ya lon ko sinyi banko sambono agriculture la fanala pour seno yirwa ka ta agriculture seno ay symbole nyen kanin fero ha
wala la bandulale e ko die jiko fana soto ko nyin sannala la Gambia sa fo simandinoba
nyen sannala la ngaji ko soto le jande mba fo la sanji sabanyato nga simfal menta ning alay mako na fasar lal contineta wunyama jande mba fo la sanji sabanyato wallahi mbe falingo jelale hani jande 2021 janding abe en la mo bebe falindiro jelale me ya lon ko nasima wala karola kato hani nyin tilikandi mano dron nyi nyongo famata soto la jande hani wo dron mo fembaleti hade just that na URR contractual men bije lafta pour ya develop ya lafa ibe do ko men ya lafa in the next 2 weeks mbe muruna na ne kata juri be do ko men na ha because senelal on tolngo woleje anon senelal la nyato ta fana nga woleje ha abaraka
folo be sate mo be kontona alla president mba fa kontona wasala isibidare wo mun koto malti do 40 ñun leblu be fama fen nabi donc ñun layati nan futata jela wallahi o kola donc mesi min sañi konton na la animal nata sa ko donc be mena sewo bunne to yalen koleal ketal nu bari koleal do nakata donc ka karandolti you know domoro nimma so nimma si domoro ma si donc koleal nati ando sene na man domoro so do jama bije donc aka batande bakere parce que ni ko mani sama bi nka sang kare be wakala fo wata juma o be koleal nati la ando fanan nim po bi ngam fan soto sen la nyante fan soto la an sen la fam be fan soto nyaadi de wala mu domoro nka min domo ndo fonka do kun kan do ka domo bari buntu be banda lungo lunje soronta wala ko ngobe mul batande la bar be ngalo ne fanan ko tonya si ajaratu ame tentu asi sino asafontina no jam asafo musa ko mako ta kono famo silo kam fodla bang fanka fo musa ko may ko ngago fo ndol mem ko ndol bam bada har sa ka fo ngata ngago dugare diama e ha kurunga fo nyi ima abjella ha ndaka diama e waya jande ko hamo mem bala hamo mem be nyi musola wala mo kon koye bo nyi banko kono buran ay boje anno abe loli wo bundala sutanin tili wodo say ndol de diamo nyata clementi nga doye abe place mento ala ma jawle korala ni jawle korala don kon gobe bo nyi banko kono mo jamal tambe janna ministre jelle nata jang arnum fula nyawul anu ministre jelle tata jani atabina so kola donc ha to fan sen lal to nyata wate ikam makole bari fengo men dinna wonte mansala ku fenti ko denke de ntolla fengolem e bungoni fonyo e bungoni ma fonya wulni ko ke kini boje ngon ka mansala batu pro wena wadda andu mansa ya do kule nun aya dinna ko sa nga fere ke don nga do man men soto nga fen landi pour ni fenke dan si fe wota no le na doko man sa fana aba kelal de ata kenno sango son ayake an naturol fana ngana mi ko man sa babbe turol de wate nga fe men doko nga fere ke nga naturol fana bondije nimmoɓe makole fana silsende lolla yefa makoy no andu ngay teddu ngay jay be fengo fenna be kan to koma ka ko atule be sedla nyaata ko ala wuli alena pour jogo me yako me ni si molma an men me do ko lalti jam fanan be tentu be jay la ti jam fanan me yako kafutal la kal makoy to nyaata al be mo kendol de andu be do ala sima ya njare kende hala barka
Musa Dabala mun to mo toti
so isa jofuna na tariko fono mole
so jang butung man secondary a development but butunte natana left command do poke nga luasi from the villages Solbulu. So sign thing nga jang Kenya falimba kele nga improve le go tumolung ibika do ku no bari sign brintanata nga amurundi ba do ku kan sign and mano men ka sodo jam fana kasia
so nena nata no janto no yela batabu ndafo ko ni masakunda sima ko no ani masungol ni fenge mala anu nata jelo ko masafane mande jamala sang ibulo kono so isa fe fono molo woto min falim ku kata ba kala kata akwa nyi do
okay man sakunda la makoro alhamdulillah hani suto for minister lombandam fajuma lomban dinge komandi ka wulle na ko nana ta fama so la kola ibuga tulum ibuga time waste nentenge komandi do ko kondindo e ko bulale be dane la pro yo makoro nyi continue ya mano nyi mem fananga sanno amenda mulbul ila makoro le akende ngo mano nyi be dadano anda ni o makoro continue then andala ko umano nyontan so fananga sodon no for next time inshallah
so saying album ngo kula to sainte
be mano tutukan ne ngamira 1 week time be parela tutu ninde parela tutu fana fongata nga fama do fana lu mafay pour fana sa toujours abanno ninga toujours ban sainte ngamira June ma fala be harvesting nyindung moli jiko so do ko yanda ka ajanta abe yara ba Masingolu man can promote again because tractor non ke luas non from across the border no banana but this year man tractor luas nanje man sekunda tractor ML Sambol ML use can sign tank anem fana ka mano harvest amem fana na you know fulale bijan sign tank but the sign e be tanding of fulale bonade kan sign tank so amunta ko mol kab bata membe ke nin sidula kemelom tansa yo nyimbe sabe bokanjel andum asoto faransa nyanta siara sai
so dana kay jikita lako nyin sanala la kay wala ning fenko keta jantal kamin soto nalbi wol dabul la
mbawo abetambila ka dabul ngamira nyanta 3 times of it asoro nanole inshallah
okay so dana ka kuma la bangoto mune ilbe mu mako la dan la ko tenke man sabu
mbe mako ro min dan la man sabu wolom dro nga continue nanying akafunyo yang abambandi and then hani sign because bajela ko improvement at buka bang wati professional improvement kekela no banyame so nga continue to ka improvement on and then fanang for alasim finance ndema Ministry of Finance nsi bondinam from Banjul ngena tinang ya jembe menna e fanal ya understand pour financi da bula men da mulfe abaraka
mbadi misno bunyal mbalbe konton na kontona ni misil me a konton diro kan te to abla marena daslam maro famusa mbaten dula mbajela kadundeni jomira do ko is more than 5 years ak track don na kasama ni na jandel ka maral do ko nyina disi afanante be maral do ko nyina jang so ni track don na jang feden na ko do be ngadi kasama sin kolel bar kabri na wosio keta ala ndema track rol nar ko do mbedu la banko nyi kam banko diune be muna fala ko fam ala tendi kilindi so fulanjam fana mum bije e turo di molla turo nyi ndala farolo nyindi nyaatu le fa banta jamani bota sabay wol dinna so jortiye alo demaru mantambola ado be sababo sunda munene musa so ntel baten tulam baje ani na mini sabambe lorinja so be kato mun ke ka alma ala asamba nyaado yalo modol biye mo sabala be duniya kono dol biye ba dunne dale do biye ba dun ka mol dale do biye foyol forin dala adu mu yalo ngai ka duada woni man mo la dima fa kato be ka kata so ne ay de ya kata la de ka tinyal so mo le ka fu mini agriculture manta do bula wolbe siri banta bato bani furani fara bulo jan do ko do ne be keri nja sama tilika ni ndelbe do ko wala so wala mu problème moti ni ko man sa kunda man ra do ko wala o mari malaf do ko wala bani la fa do ko wala do ko blate banan del jan sama tilika ni fani mari malafal de kabri la si ani sande mom man boto sang mano malo jello bidi ko nyaabe so nyim faro kon sedum kabri nyenne mano affaire jan machine sang $65,000 ni implodo serum kabri nyaate nyaawafi $65,000 ni machine sanje na ku falindo nyaabula na jiboko na plo do ena jana mo tudu falon ko do nyi o mano nyi baluta wala nsa balu khawal so wodo do ko bi janne mol fa nyakata ni ma kata ite nyaato ta serno banni mol ba kata de ke bulo la nyoka ka fu banko mandi abadi yala nyaadi ni mobe ya bulo la nyoka manso nakata banko inde diala fo mo le akata le mansara nyimbe ke no la e fana be dole kala mansa doke man ni ko ni be kono mala e fana ko e ni be ko mala e fana kono ma so gambia banko nyimbe denne do kula sabal ben telephone na nyim faranko na jang dole kala fi nya do ku nye fensor je ne nya dimbal balundi je dol kedo la fi balu dron yo soto je imam fengi ninje dol bureaucratie en soko na faro jibe yalo tano so nyi do kula sabol be nyi faranko ya do le gambia banko fanka rodo be do fana na karola ni aja na ta nyi faro kono ja ala ta ko lan tela na kabri nya do koje ko joy ko afu musa en de ma rodo be do ndebe na faro rodo be la akwa da ko la ko 2500 ngo do ku be do ma nyon soto nte motende bul nte di ni fulale be mbulo kata karamundo lu yenna rodo faro rodo be lumino so mo nyaatutu so yalo nte fe bole banni ko ndam ba mala jan na dinul mela karawti nyalal so adu so mo be mulula mo molo so wodo be dada nya so kabira na jandro ni sural be kabira aje mo be ata mo la fa do ku betol la so abe mo de ma kanne mulka complain ni mala fa daba jamala bija ita arota wara mountain ota ila faro doku bara bendel de ma kanne tela jonya wa be mol de ma kanne aka mol dande ni la faro do be do so may ka tutul so yalan kuma so nawat so wala mo ko moyinde ala baraka
we are now in Limbambulu Bambo, which is in Woolly West, under the Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. We are intervening here for pump irrigation, rice pump irrigation, and we are here in Limbambulu to make a site visit to see what is happening here in the land development aspect of the project. This is a land development, infrastructure land development, which is part of the agriculture value chain development component. And here in Limbambulu Bambo, we are developing 50 hectares of land, which is going to be pump irrigation for both dry season and rainy season. We want to target for double cropping in this particular area, because we realize that in URR you cannot have tidal irrigation because of the topography, nature of the land and the river. So we are trying to introduce a pump irrigation facility here to do our rice cultivation for 2 seasons. That is what we are aiming here. And here we are going to develop the land. We are going to have the pump machine, which is going to have a source of water from the river and then to the rice fields. Then we will have the lining canals. That's going to be the main canal. And then we will have also the secondary canals and tertiary canals where water will pass through those canals and direct to the field for water supply to the rice plant. Since yesterday we have been going round. Yesterday we went to Mamashutu. We also visited there. We visited Soto Masamba, and now today we are here in Limbambulubambo. My impression towards this land development is the work is in progress, and I think the contractors, although they are a little bit late, but we have seen some improvement that before June, we will be able to, have rice production in these areas. We are hoping that, because the farmers are waiting for a long time, and we realize that nowadays a bag of rice is very expensive, and we want to, grow what we eat and eat what we grow. So that is what we are aiming for, to cut the importation of rice in the country. When we are self-sufficient in rice production, definitely the millions that are going outside will stay in the country. That is the objective of the project, and the Gambia government is what they are aiming for, to reduce the importation of rice into the country. And I hope the vision and the mission they are trying to portray, they are in the right track.
NARI is working with the Rice Value Chain Transformation Project to work on the new varieties that they brought in this country, together with Africa Rice. What we are doing here is the local evaluation, so that we can also have the local data, local information on the two rice varieties. But I can tell you that one of the varieties actually was tested here in Nari some years ago. In fact, according to the breeder, the Gambia could even claim ownership of that land. Yes, because all the agronomic testing and everything was done in the Gambia here. That is the L19. In fact, we invited the breeder through FAO, with help from FAO, as a consultant. And he was training our young scientists here in 2019. Unfortunately, it was because of the COVID that he left. But just last week we were discussing so that he can come back. So Nari already have a good working knowledge of this variety. Now what we want to do is to convince the farmers that this variety is good. This is why we are going to their fields to meet them there and work with them. I think the transfer of technology is easier in that way. When we collaborate with them on their own field, they will easily adopt the technology. So that is what we are doing here. Last year we did it, as it was rightly mentioned by the regional, that we were a little bit late, but even though it was good, that's why this year we wake up very early, just to make sure that we succeed just like in other parts of the country. Last year we did it in many parts of the country. Thank you. Maybe in 3 months' time, if you come here, I think it should be ready, because they are fast, early maturing varieties. So it should be ready by that time. These are high-yielding crops, and if you want to be self-sufficient, to really go in for high-yielding crops. So they are tolerant to so many conditions. Even flooding, they can stay underwater for at least, the L19 can stay underwater for 2 weeks, but it will not have any effect on it. Most varieties, if they are exposed to that kind of environmental condition, they may have some issues. So with the L19, it will still do very good. Yes, the Orilox, if you want to go in for business, for example, because it's very aromatic and it also has a very nice taste. So they are high yielding and they are very good palatable rice for people. Those are the ones we have here. Last year we had them here also. This year we have them here also. And the farmers around this community are seeing them, they are participating. In fact, this is farmers' field. So I think it will be easier to encourage them to adopt these varieties. We will give the rice back to the farmer. He will take most of the percentage for him, because we are using his field. So we do those kind of arrangement with them all the time. Yes. Well, let me take this opportunity to also thank the funders, that is the Rice Value Chain Transformation Project, and thank the Ministry of Agriculture also for creating this environment for us. and we are always also thankful to Africa Rice. They have been our longest partners. They have given us a lot of varieties, not only this kind of varieties, but other kind of varieties that can do well in other ecologies. For example, in the salt-tolerant varieties, salt is an issue now in this country. Most of our fields are having this salt issue. So just towards the end of last year, we requested some varieties from them. I think they gave us about 6 varieties. Right now we have about maybe 11 salt-tolerant varieties that we are looking at, and we will hopefully release them in the system so that farmers can get in. Those who are in the salt-affected areas can also have some things to produce. Yes, thank you very much. All right, thank you.
My name is Tijan Sani. I am the principal engineer. Right now we are at Mama Sutu Pump Irrigation Scheme, sponsored by AVCD project, and then the contractor is Gach Group. The purpose of this developing this rice scheme is to improve rice production in the Gambia. And then if you look at the Gambia, we all, I can say almost 90% of the population depend on rice, and then rice importation is very high at this stage. So this is why government want to support farmers so that they can produce what they eat. This is about 50 hectares. Yeah, right now what they are doing, they are trying to do some development. At this stage, they are doing land labeling, and they are also doing some embankment for the field road so that farmers can have access to their fields, and also they are also doing some dumping on the roads, that is to put gravel on top of it, and then the compactor is compacting the ground so that it will be bind and firm on the ground. Yeah, as you can see from there, that's where you have the river. There will be a pump which will be pumping the water from this concrete line canal coming the way to this end here, and here you will have a culvert. A culvert is just a simple open way so that the water can have access to pass, and also people can have access to cross. So the water will come this way, and this one will continue as a line canal up to that end. So you see that embankment is going to be like a secondary canal. So in that secondary canal, you have tertiary canal connected on them. And you can see here it's already on the labeling. So if the field is not labeled, it will be very difficult for have uniform water distribution. Yes. Yeah, actually, this area was contracted since 2019, but land development there's always a challenge in terms of capacity of the contractor, and then also you cannot predict because it's machinery. Sometimes you expect to finish this time, at the end of the day, your machine breaks, so it will delay the work. But right now, we are foreseeing that maybe by in next 2 months, by April, here it will be finished, and by June, they will start the production. Yeah, our expectation at this place now is high because this is 50 hectares. Though you cannot compare to Jahal Paja because Jahal Paja is 1,000 hectares and here is 50 hectares. So, but with hope that if this thing finish, the community here, they will laugh because it will help their food self-sufficient in the community. And then it also help the government of the Gambia because, as I said, it's a challenge for the government. Every year they import almost around 80,000 metric tons, which costs billions of dollars. So if these things are in place in all the places, it will reduce. We will no more import rice in the Gambia.